All right, good afternoon, traders. Today's August 14th, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I am the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. I want to thank everybody for following me, and I want to thank all my subscribers for paying for content. That's very important to me, and I don't take that for granted. I try to provide actionable, profitable content every single day. I just made a video of how I put together a 40K day. All right, I did that with a 200K account. I didn't even go near 50K of buying power with that. All right, so how I put together a 40K day on a 200K account. That represents about 20%. That's increasing that account by 20%. Hey, I want to say the markets are still bullish out there. Let's go take a peek on how I did that today. Let's start with, well, you guys all know I like to trade SPY and I like to trade QQQ. All right, so right out of the gate, we had a bullish uptrend right there. And I pointed this out first thing in the morning right here. See this big red candle down? All right, that was in the pre-market. I said there's no follow through on that big red candle down. Okay, then after observing 1, 2, 3, 4 tails, okay, and a green candle bar, we got bullish breaking out of the opening range right there, okay? Big candle with no follow through, okay? Big candle, no follow through, all right? Means you're probably going to be heading back up to the highs to test the highs, all right? So here's price action rallying into the close. Love it. Congrats to all those traders that made some profits today. Yep, that big clue, exactly. Thanks, KJ. All right, let's take a look at how I put together the day. I got a video out, all right, and it shows me putting together the whole day. All right, I'm gonna render it, and I'm gonna keep it in here for members. All right, but it pretty much shows me, and you see this column here is blank. And you see it start to fill in right here, real P&L, realized profit and loss. And you see my profits and losses right here from each trade that I do. And you can see they start at 356. They go all the way back to, oh gosh, they go back to the beginning of the day. You can see all the green. Okay. Now you'll see some red in there too. All right. And I just want to say, I'm not afraid to take a loss, all right, especially when I purchase something for 10 cents and I wind up selling it for 17 cents or 16 cents higher than what I purchased it for. I'm willing to take a loss because that's bringing my cost basis down. And I know in my head that was a big win, all right, for me, all right. So when you see a red thing in there, that's usually because I'm dragging my cost basis down. I'm slamming it hard real fast. And then I'm farming them out. And I know I'm getting more than what I got when I first started. So it's a strategy that I use very often to bring my cost basis down and to exit. I don't want too much risk. All right. So you'll see I don't like to carry a lot of risk. And you'll see it right here at the beginning of the day. Right about here. No, not here. Okay, 300 at, no, that's not it. Right here, 50. I bought 50 of these. Okay, I was upside down in the position. Okay, bought 50 at 31. And you see how they're negative? But look, I'm selling them for 34, 35, 36, 37. All right, so this is me digging myself out of a hole. Buying 50 at 31, buying 50 at 32. Okay, it's a good way to bring your cost basis down so that you can be in the profitable area, so that you can spread out your net of sell orders and your net of buy orders. Okay, that's how I trade. Bring my cost basis in line where it's at the money, and then I fan out a net of sell orders. And when price runs from this low up to this high, it runs into my net, triggers those sell orders, and I capture profits. Okay, and then I reload my nets on the buy side by having a net of buy orders underneath, as you can see right here. Here's a net of buy orders here, went into a sell position right here, and now I'm selling, and now I'm reloading, all right, those orders that those contracts that I just sold up here for higher. Okay, so the markets are still bullish. We're still up over VWAP. That's a huge sign there. Here's the big clue this morning. Again, thanks Tex for all the help. Thanks Ed for all the help. Right here, all right? Big candle, no follow through right there. That's it. It's like, we're probably going to run back and do the gap fill. So that's what we did. We bought the market to go back and fill gap. Now, QQQ was much faster than SPY today. But let's drill down and see what we got here, okay? So here's the first one, okay? And you can see where I buy and I sell into strength. I sell, okay? I reload and I sell into strength. I reload, I sell into strength. I reload, sell into strength, reload, sell into strength. That's what I do all day long. Fan out a net of sell orders and fan out a net of buy orders. Okay? Reload, sell into strength. Reload, sell into strength. It's a constant process over and over and over all day. All right? So there I put together 20K on that. All right? Here's some 650. Those were 647 calls, 0 DTE. Here's some 650 calls, 0 DTE. Same thing. Okay? You can see price action. I buy in, sell into strength. See, as price goes up, I get filled. Reload, sell into strength. Reload, sell into strength. Over and over, all day long. Okay? 650 calls, 1 day till expiration. Put together 4,800 on those. Again, load up, sell into strength. Reload, sell into strength. Reload, sell into strength. Every time the candles or the option dips, I buy the dip. All right, that's basically what I'm doing. I'm buying the dip. All right, because the market's bullish. And I like this market because right now we have this rare opportunity where, the market has a 2-hour uptrend that's inside of a daily uptrend, that's inside of a weekly uptrend. And I say this all the time, and I know you guys are probably sick of hearing it, but there's going to be some days in the future you're not going to have all of these time frames, all right, especially these bigger time frames, okay, in an uptrend. It's not going to be there, okay? There'll be 1 or 2 of them that are not in an uptrend, all right? So right now is a rare opportunity, and I say it every morning. 10-minute uptrend over VWAP, all right? That's my ideal trade. That's inside the 2-hour uptrend, that's inside the daily uptrend, that's inside the weekly uptrend, that's inside the monthly uptrend. Okay, so you can see how I put together. Each day is the same, all right? You can see all I'm doing is buying the dips and selling into strength. Okay, same thing here. September, 650 calls, 22 days till expiration. Buy the dip, sell the strength. Okay, 650 calls. Okay, same thing. 15 days till expiration. Buy the dip, sell the strength. Same thing here. These are puts. I had some puts here. I'm still holding those, but on this, we had this downtrend here that didn't quite break down from here. I was looking for this to break down and probably come down to this section on a head and shoulders pattern, and it didn't fulfill the head and shoulders. As you can see, we came up here and nearly decapitated the head right up there. All right, so that did not work out, and I'm sitting with that with a loss on that one, but I'm fine with that. All right, it doesn't expire till tomorrow at 4 p.m. So I'll find a way to put it to good use. I'll either double down or triple down when we find a 10-minute downtrend, and I'll find a way out of it. So that's I'll try anyways. We'll see what happens. All right, so made some money on the puts, trying to trade those down into the head and shoulders. I was looking for price to come down to this green line right here, which is about 641.37 right there. Next one, 655, 8 days till expiration, 665 strike, 195. Again, buying the dip, selling into strength. 647, 1 day till expiration, $130 on those. Again, buying the dip, selling into strength, buying the dip, selling into strength. Okay, see how I fan out a net of sell orders up above? Well, this is exactly what I do. See how I fan out a net of buy orders down below? So price runs into my net of sell orders and I get triggered and capture profits. Okay, price pulls back, all right, and then I reload my contracts right here when price dips down. Capture profits, reload. Capture profits, reload. It's a constant ebb and flow, all right, ebb and flow. As price goes up, as price comes down, okay. 8 days till expiration, $12 on those. Not much. Again, you can see I struggled with the puts today. Didn't have much of a downtrend. This was the only 10-minute downtrend right here, and it didn't get far. As you can see, we've got a spike candle here, and then this would be maybe the rubber band candle, not much. It's a doji, all right? And then we've got two more that are attached. Then this becomes the rubber band candle, and you can see we never breach the low of that candle all day for the rest of the day. So I got burned on those, all right? So 670 calls, 670, 29 days till expiration. Only made $10 on those, okay? Again, these are pricey. Whenever you got more time, more pricey. Puts. Oh, I bought some puts. That's what it was. I bought like one of each put of what I thought might happen if we got some continuation. And that's why I have these. All right. I made $3 on that and $8 on that. So right at the open, I bought a put in case there was a continuation that manifested up here underneath VWAP right there. So first thing out of the gate. I just wanted them in my queue. In case I needed, I wouldn't have to go find them. And I do that sometimes. I just stick it in my queue so I don't have to go find it because I know I'm probably going to be interested in that instrument, all right, when the trading day begins. And if a downtrend does develop, I don't want to have to go hunting for it. So I just buy one at market. That way I have it in my queue and I don't have to go hunting for it. I can just click on it and it loads it in and I can just start trading it right away. Do you think I could make, do you think SPY, I got a question. TC 2000 is the best? Yeah, you bet, KJ. Yes, it is. Mel asks, so do you think SPY could make it down to 643 so I can exit those puts? I don't know. All right. Looking like a failed top, but look at this. They're not giving up. That is a bullish stance. All right. Like you ever see the guys get all bowed up against somebody that they don't like? Well, this is the SPY all bowed up right here, not backing down. All right. 1, 2, triple top, not leaving the area. All right. See, it just continues to just hang out up here in this up at the highs. So I don't know. All right. If we get under VWAP, yes. Right now we spent the majority of the day, if you look at it, Mel, over VWAP or attached to VWAP. Very few candles under VWAP. You see not too many free-floating candles under VWAP. Okay, actually not too many free-floating candles over VWAP either. Okay, you got quite a few right there in that opening rally up there. You got some there. It's not too many 10-minute candles free-floating underneath. So, 643. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think so. This is bullish, holding the higher ground. All right, and I also did some Qs. Okay, so you can see I made 7K on some Qs. All right, I did the same thing. All right, as an exhaustion candle, or it was a big candle with no follow through. So you know price has a good chance of going back up and filling the gap. Okay, whenever you see the gap get filled by the bulls, so you got a bearish gap down and the bulls run right up. First thing, notice, get this traders, first thing before noon, all right, bulls fill the gap. There's a clue right there. There's two clues right in the morning. First one, big candle, no follow through. Second clue, gap down, bulls fill the gap before noon. Okay? That tells you the bulls are on the field and they're ready to play ball. Okay? Right there. Whenever you see that happen, you see the bulls race in, fill the bearish gap before noon. That's a clue. They're on the field and they're ready to play. All right? So there's two bullish clues right there. Okay, and now we got again 7,000 on those. Again, same thing. Buying the dip, selling into strength, selling into strength. Buying the dip. Okay, you can see I bought some of these way more than what I bought these. That meant I had to like double and triple down here to get out at better than cost basis. Okay, see if you're buying them here and you're selling them here, you're not making money. But if you bring your cost basis down, you can get out with profit. Okay? Again, buying the dip, selling into strength right there. See this peak lines up with that sell, and those are calls. Okay? Another one, 585 calls, 1 day till expiration, $400 on those. Again, buying the dips and selling into strength. Buying the dips, selling into strength. Selling into strength, buying the dips, over and over. Just rinse, wash, rinse, repeat. Over and over. Same thing. Wash, rinse, repeat. Okay, that's what I do. Okay, so there's the QQQs. So I traded Qs and I traded SPY. All right, put together a 40K day on my 200K account. That's what I started with. See that 197? I keep track of everything right there. All right, let's pull up the market chart one more time. All right, and we're going to push all of this to the side. You don't need to see this anymore, okay, because we just went over it. We don't need to see the option anymore because we just went over that. Let's look at SPY. Okay, let's look at the 10-minute chart. And you can see the 10-minute chart has an uptrend that's just closing out at the very last candle here, okay? So we're leaving the day with a 10-minute uptrend that's about to close out. On the 2-hour chart, okay, let's find a clean chart here. Why is this doing that? Hold on, it's gonna show up. It better. All right, let's try this one. All right, let's get the 2-hour chart. Let's get a clean one. Okay, so I want you to be able to see this. Okay, so the 3 EMA is the yellow line. See the yellow line? It's very, very hard to see, but there's the yellow line. It's over. This is the 2-hour time frame. Okay, it's the yellow line is on top of the 8 EMA, okay? So that's a bullish uptrend into the close, okay? That's the last candle of the day. So we have a bullish uptrend into the close, okay? If you look at this price action, and you guys already know what I'm going to do, all right? Because you guys have been with me for so long. Up and over to the right. Okay, what is that a sign of? That's a sign of strength, right? That's bullish. That's a bullish behavior. That's a bullish characteristic. That's a launch pad that usually leads into a launch. All right, we'll see what happens. Okay, but that's what we're looking at right there. It's a move up and over to the right. Okay, so there's 2-hour chart in a 2-hour uptrend coming into the close. On the daily chart, okay, that was the all-time high yesterday. Lower high, lower low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17. That's bullish. Okay, you can see it up here. If I fan way out, it's up at the top of quadrant 4. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, top of quadrant 4. That's bullish, and you're in an uptrend. Okay, markets are bullish. I think they got 650 on the brain. All right, SPY. Okay, let's take a look at weekly. Okay, see all the green dots up at the top of quadrant 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bullish in an uptrend. Notice the 3 is on top of the 8. Okay, price 3, 8, 17. Okay, all stacked up. That's a bullish uptrend right there. Okay, it's bullish up at the top of quadrant 4. Monthly doing the same thing. See all the green dots? That's the 17. Okay, again, price 3, 8, 17. That's an uptrend right there. Okay, so that's why I like bullish 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. Sometimes they run all day. Sometimes they only last for 3 hours. Sometimes they only last for 2 hours. Okay, you just trade them till they're done. All right, so there's SPY on the monthly, weekly, daily chart. Okay, so we had the game plan, and because of the morning economics package and that big red candle down, the game plan was kind of irrelevant. All right, because we started off the day with a big gap down here, and we wound up coming all the way back up to do the gap fill up here. All right, so there's SPY. There's the game plan that was on here earlier this morning. All right, let's take a look at QQQ. All right, and we'll look at that on Scratch right here. Let's take a look at it on the daily chart. Okay, QQQ, same as SPY, lower high, lower low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17. See it up there at the top of quadrant 4, just like SPY. Okay, that's an uptrend, and that's bullish. All right, let's take a look at FNGU. Okay, FNGU put in inside day. Okay, up over, closing over the trap, over the 17, top of quadrant 4. Okay, so that's bullish and in an uptrend. All right, actually it's in a downtrend that's not working. Okay, see that low? They made a lower low, so they got a downtrend that's not working. All right, if they take out this high, all right, they will negate the downtrend and convert the uptrend. So there's FNGU on the daily chart that's bullish and in a downtrend that's not working. Okay, let's take a look at IWM. All right, rally high for IWM yesterday. Today's candle, lower high, lower low, but closing over a bullish trap and over the 17 EMA. All right, hopefully they can start consolidating up here in quadrant 4. Okay, they're up in quadrant 4, that's bullish, and they're in an uptrend. All right, they came below this, see this? They came below that tail that scoots below the 17. Of course, we made a lower low. So we were in a downtrend until this moment right here. Okay, 2 days ago, they made a higher high, negating the downtrend and converting the uptrend. Okay, so IWM, uptrend, bullish, up there in quadrant 4. Okay, so there's IWM. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow putting in, looks like, I'm just going to call it an inside day. High is 449.64. High is 449.65. So it's an inside day by a penny. Okay, closing over a bullish trap over the 17. That's bullish up at the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish. If they made a higher high, they did not. Okay, if they make a higher high, they're in a downtrend. But get this, they're not moving down. They're moving up. Okay, so another one, a downtrend that's not working. Okay, up at the top of quadrant 4. Look at all these attempts on the all-time high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attempts on the all-time high. They're not giving up. All right, there's Diamond Dow. Okay, looking at SPY this morning. All right, well, actually for today. Okay, see this? Look at all these highs up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're not giving up. They have 650 on the brain, I think. Maybe even higher than that. Okay, but obviously, if after triple top or double top they're not giving up, then they got something on the brain. It's some place they need to be. All right, I don't know where it is, but there's some place up here that they feel like they need to be in order to make money. All right, maybe it's 650, maybe it's 660. I don't know, but they are bullish and they are holding the higher ground. Okay, so there's SPY. Let's take a look at some technicals. All right, here's the breadth. Okay, so on this rally, we were almost losing breadth right up here until the 12th. Okay, and then along came some CPI numbers on the 12th, and then we rallied with the breadth all the way back. So now we're picking up momentum in that uptrend. Okay, this was the momentum losing uptrend. This was the uptrend losing momentum. See how it keeps getting lower and lower? It's kind of running out of gas. Okay, and now they got refilled with spinach and mustard, and they're ready to go. Okay, that's T2101. Okay, so here's T2122. So yesterday, the rodeo clown got pushed into the overbought zone. All right, he got hooked and landed in the overbought zone. Spent the whole day up there in the cheap seats. Okay, that's what I'm going to call it. Okay, so now the bears swatted him out of there. Okay, from the cheap seats back down into the seller's chop zone today. Okay, because today's the 14th. Okay, so we spent half the day inside the seller's chop zone. Okay, and then we got hooked again by the bulls, and we landed up making little micro higher lows and higher highs to finish the day inside the buyer's chop zone, therefore creating a higher low. That is good news. Maybe we can get a trend, okay, that happens to move in the other direction instead of down. So maybe it starts to move up, all right, instead of down. So you can see the downtrend has been violated. Okay, so now maybe we start an uptrend and we wind up melting our way up, back up to the overbought zone. So there's T2122. Okay, we got swatted down by the bears, wound up in the seller's chop zone, ate some breakfast, found some mustard, some spinach, and found our way back into the buyer's chop zone there. Okay, so there's the T2123. Okay, look at this. Green from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. Still in an uptrend, holding the higher ground over the 200 SMA on the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart, still in an uptrend. Notice they filled this, they didn't quite fill it because they gapped the gap, all right? This bearish trap, all right? And notice the bears didn't fill this bullish trap. It's been 2 days straight. They still haven't filled the bullish trap. That's a good sign. All right, 3-bar chart, and we're up over the 200 on that 15-minute. 3-bar chart, okay? We make, we got some lows, then we got higher lows right here and here. Then we got some highs up over the 17. That's the green dots, okay? Right here, high, and then we got a higher high, and then we made another higher high. So we're still in an uptrend, okay? If we take out this low, we will negate the uptrend. If we take out that low right there, okay, we will negate the uptrend. Right now, the bigger time frame, which is the 3-bar chart, is in an uptrend. Notice price consolidating up here at the top of quadrant 4. Okay, we got a head and shoulders pattern here. If they can come up here and decapitate the head, all right, right up here. In other words, bring price up over that head. Okay, they will negate and negate and void the head and shoulders pattern. That's a bearish head and shoulders pattern right there. Okay, so need them to get up there and climb up there and take care of business. They're up over the 200 SMA. They're up here in quadrant 4, and they're in an uptrend. So that's bullish. FNGU. Today's price action. All right, you can see not much of a gap down, and they just bullied right out of the gate. Spent a lot of time going back and forth over VWAP. Okay, so rough day for FNGU. Hence, we didn't get much happening, but the same thing. Actually, SPY looks like the same chart right here. So you got bullish, and then you got it like looks like they just pulled the bid and let it free fall right here, just flat right on top of VWAP. So there's FNGU up over the 200 SMA. Okay, there's your all-time high right there. Still haven't been able to take out that all-time high. All right, that's bullish. This is a bullish uptrend on the 15-minute chart. See this? You got lows, lows. See how that higher lows? Okay, and then we got highs, 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 higher highs. Okay, so still in an uptrend right there on FNGU. Take a look at a few sectors. Let's try this out. Let's try, yeah, we'll try this out right here. SMH. Yeah, it's not working. I don't know what happened here. It's just not working for me. All right, guys, that's it for today. All right, I'll see you guys all tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I want to thank everybody out there in digital land, cyber land. Let me see if there's some questions. Am I still buying swing lows and selling swing highs? Yes, I am. 643. If we get underneath VWAP, yes, Mel, we could make it to 643. And that's about it right now. Okay, market's still bullish. That's what I see. All right, it's bullish until it's not. We're in an uptrend till it's not. All right, and they really stuck it to the highs up there today, and it's looking good for tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. All right, everybody, have a beautiful evening. I'll see you in the morning, and we'll do another video.